Man, him and his wife was found unalive, y'all. Oh my goodness. Gene Hackman and his wife was oosh. But get into this. They say Gene Hackman, his pacemaker stopped. Oh, it stopped working 11 days ago. Ooh, hold on, y'all. Hold on. We gotta get this. We gotta get this together. Gene Hackman. Did y'all hear about that? Gene Hackman, him and his wife, went to glory. They say his pacemaker stopped 11 days ago, says a medical examiner. So apparently, the sheriff says Gene Hackman and wife likely was unalive days before being found. So it's all types of reports going on out here. Y'all get into this.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Sheriff Adan Mendoza, Sheriff for Santa Fe, New Mexico, Santa Fe County. On Wednesday, February 26, 2025, at approximately 1:45 p.m., Santa Fe County Sheriff's deputies were dispatched to 1425 Old Sunset Trail, where Gene Hackman, 95, and his wife Betsy Arakawa, 65, and a dog were found deceased. An individual arrived to perform maintenance on the residence, became concerned after receiving no answer, and contacted neighborhood security to conduct a welfare check. Security then checked.
So you telling me that they had somebody to come over and work on their house? And when the person went to knock at the door and they was like, okay, well, we're done. We need our payment. Nobody answered. And so
On the residence and observed Mr. Hackman and Miss Arakawa on the ground unresponsive through a window and called 911. Deputies arrived and gained access to the residence, where they observed Mrs. Arakawa deceased. They continued the search of their home and located Mr. Hackman in a separate area of the residence, also deceased. A German Shepherd was also found deceased, and two other dogs who appeared healthy were located on the property.
No.
Deputies then secured the scene and notified the Criminal Investigations Division. Due to the unusual circumstances of two decedents in the residence, there was a...
You damn right, that's unusual circumstances. I mean, the family's gone, then the dog's gone. Oh my goodness. Okay, so listen here. This is the sheriffs. The sheriffs had come out and they had made a statement. So that's what we're listening to. Let's listen to it in its entirety, and then I'll give my comment. Let's listen to it in its entirety, and then I'll give my commentary at the end, if that's okay.
To 1425 Old Sunset Trail, where Gene Hackman, 95, and his wife Betsy Arakawa, 65, and a dog were found deceased. An individual arrived to perform maintenance on the residence, became concerned after receiving no answer, and contacted neighborhood security to conduct a welfare check. Security then checked on the residence and observed Mr. Hackman and Miss Arakawa on the ground unresponsive through a window and called 911. Deputies arrived and gained access to the residence, where they observed Mrs. Arakawa deceased. They continued the search of their home and located Mr. Hackman in a separate area of the residence, also deceased. A German Shepherd was also found deceased, and two other dogs who appeared healthy were located on the property. Deputies then secured the scene and notified the Criminal Investigations Division. Due to the unusual circumstances of two decedents in the residence, there was a concern for scene safety. Santa Fe City Fire personnel and the New Mexico Gas Company were requested to the scene to test for carbon monoxide or other foreign elements. The scene was deemed safe, and approximately 9:30 p.m., a search warrant was issued and executed on the residence. Now, collected from the residence, from this search warrant, there were two green in color cell phones, two bottles of medication, one bottle of over-the-counter Tylenol, My Request medical records, and a 2025 monthly planner, calendar. Those items were secured from the residence for evidentiary purposes. The Santa Fe Animal Control Division worked with family to ensure the safety of the two surviving dogs. Investigation personnel worked diligently throughout the night and morning to process the scene for evidence. It should be noted there were no apparent signs of foul play. In the early hours of Thursday, February 27, 2025, Mr. Hackman and Ms. Arakawa were transported to the office of the medical investigator. An autopsy was performed. Initial findings noted no external trauma to either individual. The manner and cause of death has not been determined. The official results of the autopsy and toxicology reports are pending. Just today, I spoke to Dr. Jarrell, the pathologist from the New Mexico Office of the Medical Investigator. This was at 2:00 p.m. today. She advised that there were several tests that were submitted to be expedited. She revealed to me the following information. Both individuals tested negative for carbon monoxide. An initial interrogation was conducted of Mr. Hackman's pacemaker. This revealed that his last event was recorded on February 17th, 2025. I was advised that a more thorough investigation will be completed. That'll conclude my statement. I will take a few questions and just so everybody knows, this is an active investigation still. I'll take questions.
Based on what you know about the conditions of both the bodies, who do you believe died first?
That's a very hard thing to determine. Even with the assistance of OMI, we asked that question because that's a question that we want answered. That's a very hard determination to make, and I don't think even OMI could make that determination based on the initial autopsy. Any other questions?
Mr. Chair, in that 2025 planner that was mentioned in the search warrant return, were there events scheduled for either member of the couple for the coming weeks?
Again, that'll be part of our investigation. We will look and try to gain access to the cell phones. We'll be analyzing cell phone data, phone calls, text messages, events, photos in the cell phone to try to piece a timeline together. One of the things is in an investigation is we try to piece a timeline together. Usually before the event happens, and that gives us a lot of information. But in this case, it seems like we're doing a reverse timeline. We're doing a timeline from the time of death and the autopsy and the results, and we're going to start working our way backwards. We're going to do both, and then hopefully make a determination what may have happened to both the individuals. Sasha.
When you were saying the last event on the pacemaker was February 17th, would that kind of give you a sign that's probably the day that he died, so they've dead for about 10 days?
According to the pathologist, I think that is a very good assumption that was his last day of life.
Is there any surveillance video?
Why are the pills such important evidence?
I'm sorry?
The pills.
Okay.
The finding of the pills being such important evidence, and could that have been part of the cause of death?
Well, of course, they're important evidence. These are things that I think are important for the pathologist and OMI to consider to try to make a determination what the cause and manner of death are. So all that information is collected, not just for us, but we can provide that information to the pathologist and OMI so they can try and make a determination of what the manner and cause is. And I think that's important for OMI also.
Right.
Sheriff, was there any surveillance video, and is that helping you to determine?
And let me just jump in right quick because they're on the questions. But yeah, it would be important because if that person is on that medicine and it's found in their system, then they can go ahead and write that off.
What may have led up to this?
That's a good question, and that question's been asked. So, I respect the Mr. Hackman's and Ms. Arakawa's regard for privacy. I think everybody here understands that they were very private individuals and a very private family. There is no surveillance as we know of right now in the interior of the residence or the exterior of the residence that is going to help us determine a timeline or events that happened.
Mr. Sheriff,
Sir, Tom Hanson with CBS News. Have investigators been able to get into the obtained cell phone?
What? So they're saying that there was no surveillance. The Hackmans didn't have any surveillance. Let's get into it.
Not at this time. We have them in our possession. Those were collected yesterday. It's going to take a process. We do have software, and we may have to reach out to other agencies for assistance to get past, if they're password protected, to get past the passwords and gain access to that information. So this is some other things that it's going to take a little bit of time.
Sheriff, is there any information on the... There are names, Nikhil McClellan from the Albuquerque Journal, there are names on prescription bottles. Do we know any idea as to who was taking any of those medications?
Yeah, and due to HIPAA, I don't want to release who the medication was prescribed to or what the medication is. I think there's a HIPAA concern there, so I won't release that information.
Sheriff, do you know the initial pills that were found were those pills there?
What were they? Yeah, I think I just answered that question. I think I stated I'm not going to release the actual medication or who it was prescribed to due to HIPAA questions. Sir.
Carbon monoxide part of it. Is that what the pathologist looking, does that rule out carbon monoxide, or is it possible it kind of dissipates from the body and supporting the fucking science?
You know, I think that's a question for the pathologist. It's with that information, I'm assuming that at the time of death that they were negative for carbon monoxide, which means to me that that is possibly ruled out. That's another conversation I think that we will have with the pathologist and OMI to make sure that that's still not indication, but it sounds like that's ruled out.
Were there any signs that Betsy was under any form of distress?
I don't have that information. Again, I didn't personally see the individuals, so there's no indication that there was any stress. There was no indication of any of that I can tell or that I can share, unfortunately. Hold on. Anybody else? I know you've asked a question.
Sheriff, was there any significance to the space here being located near her head, that detail, and any more information about how the dogs died?
No, I don't think the space, now that we've ruled out carbon monoxide, unless there's something else that comes back in the toxicology report that we have to look, we're going to look at everything, right? We have photographs, we've documented everything that was close to the body in the room, then we'll look at that a little closer. But right now, there's no indication that has anything to do with it.
Were you able to determine whether they fell or not? Like, was there any trauma evidence on the bodies to suggest a fall?
No, I don't think, there was any indication that again, there was no trauma indicated on the body. I'm assuming if they would have fell or, injured themselves or a head injury or brain injury, that would have been discovered by the pathologist. So I'm going to say that they weren't.
Just to follow up, that you saw the sunglasses in a cane on the floor, according to the reports. That would seem to go against that.
That's up to the detective and OMI to work out. Yeah. I'm gonna take two more questions, and then that's gonna be it, sir.
Can you say what the space heater was powered by? Was it a gas powered or electric powered space heater?
I don't know that information right off the top. Sir.
How long do you think we'll have more concrete answers of what happened?
Again, we're waiting for the autopsy results and the toxicology. The doctor, the pathologist shared that information, which I think some tests were expedited. And so she shared that information with me because she thought it was relevant to the case and important for the public to know. I don't know. I don't know when the cause and the manner will be determined officially, or when the toxicology results come. I'm assuming the pathologist will wait for the toxicology to come back, so that'll help her make her decision on what the cause and manner is. But it could be months or 3 months or longer, in my experience. One more question.
When was the last known contact with either Betsy or Dean?
Again, that's been one of our challenges because of their privacy. So one of the challenges is trying to determine that timeline. I think the event of the pacemaker gives us an idea, but we're gonna sift through the cell phone records. We're gonna go through the planner. We're contacting workers, maintenance workers, family members, security. We're gonna be talking to security. It's a secure subdivision. There's in and out that I believe is doc.
Oh, wow. So listen here. So security is going to have to go through those records. And who's ever been visiting the first, the last time, I know that these individuals said that they were getting some work done. Here, let's listen to this article right here. Let's go.
Tonight, we're getting a clearer picture of the timeline related to the death of Oscar winner Gene Hackman. Authorities tonight are saying that Hackman probably died more than a week before someone discovered his body. And now we're taking a closer look at the new developments in this investigation into what happened and when. New details tonight in the death investigation of 95-year-old actor Gene Hackman and his wife, 65-year-old Betsy Arakawa.
An initial interrogation was conducted of Mr. Hackman's pacemaker. This revealed that his last event was recorded on February 17th, 2025.
The Santa Fe County Sheriff revealing tonight that Hackman was probably dead for 9 days after being discovered by maintenance workers Wednesday afternoon.
I think that is a very good assumption that was his last day of life.
In an affidavit, deputies say the couple's bodies were found in separate rooms. Hackman near the kitchen with a walking cane and sunglasses near him. His wife was found in a bathroom next to a prescription bottle with scattered pills on the floor.
Now get into that. Does that sound like it's given stage to me, y'all? It's given stage to me. Okay, so he done fell down. Somebody gave him a heart attack and came in there and gave this man a heart attack. He fall down. Then they go to her. I don't know. This ain't sounding right. Then she was the bottle of, what's in her system? What's in her system? We need that toxicology report. We need it ASAP. You hear me?
Her body, quote, showed obvious signs of death, body decomposition, bloating in her face, and mummification.
They've clearly been dead for several days, and I'm saying days plural in order.
So somebody got in and got out. This was, in my opinion, I don't know any of this to be true, but I feel like this is staged. I mean, you got him over there on the floor, glasses on the ground, cane over there, and then you got her in the bathroom. I mean, what in the blazing bejesus? Why would she be in the bathroom with pills around her? You see what I'm saying? And you're saying that there's no signs of stress and this, that, and the third. Well, we don't know what it is. But I know, hold on, let's take this back, y'all. I know I'm not tripping.
Mr. Hackman's pacemaker.
Listen, y'all.
This revealed that his last event was recorded on February 17th, 2025.
So whoever was there February 17th, 2025, we need to get those records of who went up into that neighborhood February 17th or February 16th. We need those 2 days, February 16th. Actually, from February 16th, maybe a week or two, see who's been visiting. You see what I'm saying? Was there a disgruntled worker? Was there, did somebody see some? I don't know. How close were they with their workers and things like that? I mean, I'm not trying to blame the workers, but we got to check out everybody that's been in and out of these people's house. They said the last time that man was alive with his pacemaker said that he went to glory on February the 17th of 2025.
Santa Fe County Sheriff revealing tonight that Hackman was probably dead for 9 days after being discovered by maintenance.
Listen here, 9 days, y'all. I want y'all to remember that. 9. What's out the 9? It's 10. Let's go.
Workers Wednesday afternoon.
I think that is a very good assumption that was his last day of life.
In an affidavit, deputies say the couple's bodies were found in separate rooms. Hackman near the kitchen with a walking cane and sunglasses.
Walking cane, sunglasses. Did somebody follow him home? Did somebody follow him home? This man was found wherever he was with his sunglasses, his cane, and seemed like he had just come in.
Near him, his wife was found in a bathroom next to a prescription bottle with scattered pills on the floor. Her body, quote, showed obvious signs of death, body decomposition, bloating in her.
Okay, then now they find her and she's got a bottle of pills scattered. Body decomposing and all that. They've been there. So we know 2/17/2025, and they would have the time that it stopped. Okay. Well, how much longer before it was her? You know? If he was 217, when did she go to glory?
Face and mummification.
They've clearly been dead for several days, and I'm saying days plural in order to get that kind of mummification. It's wrinkled up and it's dried, and it could be anything from kind of a leathery change all the way to the point that it's so hard that you can't even cut through it easily with a scalpel.
Santa Fe deputies recovered 2 cell phones, 3 kinds of medicine, medical records, and a 2025 monthly planner from the home.
Now listen, get up into this. What did they say? They found 2 green and colored cell phone devices. So that's really gonna help. Who were they in contact with? Who was the last person that they had spoken with? Right? Now remember, this is February the 17th of 2025. The thyroid, oh, it was thyroid medication. Um and diddlism medication, Tylenol, and then it had My Quest Records 2025 monthly planner. This is what they found in the home. Okay? And they want to put that out there. Let's go.
The manner and cause of death has not been determined.
The couple's German Shepherd was also found dead in a crate in a bathroom.
Whoa. In a crate. The dog was in there and the dog done croaked as well. Lord Jesus.
2 other dogs were found healthy on the property.
What y'all think happened? Do y'all think somebody followed Mr. Hackman home? That's a question. Because when you talk about 9 days and nobody had a clue until this worker had come by and said, hey, something is going on. I don't know, y'all. Let me know in the comments. We can talk about it. Thank you for tuning in.